Hello everybody, my name is Deku and welcome back to MILGRAM. Last time we left off, we had just finished watching Moo's second voice drama titled Queen Bee and her second music video called It's Not My Fault, which I really do enjoy. You guys are doing fucking awesome, and I did not realize this, and nobody mentioned it in the comments either. I completely forgot to watch the Fuda and Moo second trial interrogation question video. So we're going to do that first before we move on to Shidou's second voice drama. And before that, look over there. Over there. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's the patrons. Do you see the ones with the cool names and the fonts and everything like that? That's because they paid either on YouTube or on Patreon. And guess what? If you pay on one, that means you get all of the benefits for both websites. But if you really want to be fucking insane, you can also do the monthly subscription on both websites. You won't really get anything special besides being listed on two separate pages. Well, actually, no, because you're listed on the same page anyway. Anyway, yes, that's over there. I need money. Help me, please. If you can't, that's totally fine. But I'm looking forward to hopefully one day getting a new camera through Patreon, and as much as I enjoy doing these videos and love doing it for free, I do want to be able to make money from it so that I can support myself and also maybe one day give back to you guys, and also be able to support my friends as well. So yeah, let's get started. Are the names done scrolling yet? Yeah, I'm sure it's done now. All right. Let's get started with Fuda and Moo's second trial interrogation questions. Hold on, pause. Wait. Guys, check it. Guys, check it out. Check out my cute little fucking little straw topper. Look at that. Look at that little thing. Look at that little fucking piece of shit. I love him so much. You know what? Give this little fucker a name in the comments. Give them a little name. Maybe Kuma? Kuma? What the fuck? What's the, I don't know another word for brown. To be like brown bear, brown Kuma, or whatever. Mono Kuma wouldn't work, because that bastard. This is a compilation of questions Fuda and Moo were asked following their second trials, which were then answered by them on Twitter. You know the drill, by the way. I'll put a link to my Ko-Fi in the description. Go support them. Unofficial. Hold on, I gotta turn this down real quick, and then turn this up. 03 and 04, 20 questions answered. What kind of kid were you? A normal one, I guess. I doubt that. I think that Fuda as a kid was probably like a little rapscallion, a little devious bastard running around and shit. What do you think of Haruka? I don't have time to worry about other people, and besides, he ain't a kid. Well, he is supposedly 17, so he is a minor. Is there a prisoner you like? I don't like anyone or stuff like that, but I'm grateful to Coswe and Shidou. Would you commit the same mistake now? I don't think I would. I can't endure the pain anymore. This pain anymore. See, now that's a good thing about what it points to about how, like, aware we have to be whenever judging these characters is how they've changed now on top of that. And also, by the way, for everyone wondering, I put it in the last video. Currently, I say Fuda is innocent. Yuno is innocent. Haruka guilty, but in like a kind of a, I'm really like struggling. I really think that, yeah, guilty, and Moo is also guilty so far, based on the trial 2 stuff that I've seen. What are your family members' occupations? My dad's a civil worker. I don't know what my mom does. My sister's a beautician. Do you think because his sister's a beautician that food is a little, you know, just a little bit? Yes, I wound that up before before I did it. Do you remember the name of the person you killed? I'm pretty sure I do. I saw it often after all. What have you been interested in as of late? Ways to numb the pain. This guy's so fucking pathetic. I feel so bad for him. Do you think you're similar to any of the other prisoners? I had thought Kotoko, but she's completely different. She's nuts. Yeah? How do you feel about the results of trial number 1? You're the same as me. What are your thoughts on Kotoko's attacks? I don't even want to try to remember. Give me a break. Do you think in Japanese he said yada yada daze? Is there anyone you want to meet right now? I don't know. Maybe my mom. Aww. He uses a term that is very attached. So that's kind of childish way of saying mother. So like, mommy. Oh. Oh, my mama. Oh, this poor guy. Is there a president you're not fond of? Look at my face. It's obviously Kotoko. Thoughts on the prisoners' verdicts? I don't care about the others, but I hate that Kotoko was forgiven. Yeah, honestly, I'm starting to think that she shouldn't have been forgiven either, based on the idea of what might have happened if given the idea of innocent. But what's on your mind right now? Maybe it's because I'm anxious, but I want something to rely on. Aw. What's your dream for the future? I'm not a little kid. I don't have stuff like dreams. Trying hard is useless in today's society. That's very fucking nihilistic. If anything, as adults, we should have the biggest dreams of us of all, even compared to children. It's because we are the ones that have inherited the earth as a society and as a mass, as people, as adults. We are the ones that are now responsible for the planet and society. Even detached from all the fucking, you know, traditional adult things. Just as us being grown up and aware of our surroundings, we have become responsible for our surroundings and our environment and the people around us. But it's little kids shouldn't be the only ones that have dreams, and nor is it childish to have dreams. I mean, I have a dream. I've told all of you guys my dream plenty. My dream is to make it big on here so that I can deliver message and comfort and help as many people and, you know, teach and, you know, liberate as many people as possible, even in a way like this. Because I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere. Right? Middle Midwest nowhere suburb. Like, I'm not in a major city. I'm not in a big city, right? I'm not in a place where I can go to a local meeting because I don't have a thing like a car or anything like that to be able to support my community in the way that I want to, due to time and all this other stuff. So I do this. I try and help the community of society through doing these things, you know? Yes, is it just a reaction video? Yeah, but I'm offering up ideas, like thoughts, politics, especially, you know, like leftist socialist politics, of trying to teach people these things to make them aware of the world that they live in so that they can hopefully spread that and then help other people as a result of it. And, you know, it also allows me to do my dream of being able to be free of what I want to do. And what I want to do is anything, really, right? Like, one of my plans one day is to do, like, go around the world, meet people, see things, and record it all, write it all, create it all. Because above all else, my dream is to be able to create in hopes of helping people, and to do some sort of good, right? And that's what I do. You know, and I don't got no like fucking hero complex or whatever and trying to do that. I just know that some people need that. Some people need a safe space. Some people need affirmation and confirmation that there are people out there like them who is openly gay, who is openly autistic with ADHD, and, you know, has things like trauma and can talk about it and offer them a space to where they can feel supported and have a point of relief and the like. So that's the whole point of this channel. Do you have a lot of online friends? I don't know if we were friends or not. There were times we had fun together, but I don't know if I could call us that word. I have a lot of online friends. Teehee. :3. Teehee. :3. Less than :3. Teehee. Less than :3. C. Do you have a lover? Not right now. And what about it? Not right now. Dude, Fuda be fucking. Do you regret it? I do. Why was I doing something like that? What other people do is none of my business. Interesting. Fuda, 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 That's what you guys say, right? Eno, I-N-N-O, innocent, innocent. Are you satisfied with your gender? Well, it is what it is. For whatever reason, it feels like you've got to work if you're a man, so it's kind of a pain. Well, that's what we call gender norms. The only thing that is defined as gender is whatever we make it to be. And if you want to be toxic masculine, I think you need to self-reflect, because you having a penis and identifying with masculinity does not mean that you are automatically the worker or the provider or so on. But if you do, there are plenty of great things that for the idea of masculinity, such as being a rock or being kind, protecting, confident, and other things like that. And honestly, it comes down to more aesthetics than anything, being an actual difference from femininity and female as a gender, or even non-gender and other things like that. I'm curious as to why that question was asked to these two in specific. Were you in the right? Not in any way, and I know that, but it's not just me. You're all doing the same thing. Well, technically, yeah, because we are judging him. But it's the intention behind that that's different. What kind of kid were you? I think I was a pretty normal one. I bet you were a fucking spoiled brat now that we know who you are. I had a lot of friends, and I did lots of extracurricular activities, too. Queen Bee. Fucking bitch. Am I calling the 16-year-old a bitch? Yes. She should know what she is. What do you think of Haruka? We're friends. He treats me very well. That was another thing that I was thinking about, is that despite the way that Jackalope was intending it, and one of the persons that like gave me a little nudge, which I'm fine in the comments if you give me like a little nudge in the right direction. That's perfectly fine, as long as you don't fully spoil it. I made a comment, pinned it in the last video, but like, you know, being like, oh, here's a little bit of clarification of like, you know, kind of like put you on of like what the video has said, instead of, you know, spoiling something in the future, or anything along those lines. That's okay. But, you know, just be very careful, see what other people are saying, and if that's been allowed, and think of it that way. But yeah, I think that the idea of it being sexual, I never really thought it was, but in a very domination kind of way, I did think that there was there. And obviously, given the fact that Haruka sees Mu as his mother now, but I do see it as very much friendship, but it's a corrupted view of friendship. Is there a prisoner you like? Like, you say. I don't think there is anyone like that. What about? That definitely does reveal more stuff about her relationship with Haruka, because why wouldn't you say you like one of your friends? Clearly it's because she's getting something out of him. Whether that's attention, whether that's, you know, affirmation or other things like that. Who knows? Would you commit the same mistake now? I don't get what you mean by mistake. I mean, you said what I did that I did nothing wrong. The fucking cognitive dissonance that this bitch has to go through. The mental hoops to be like, oh, but you said I did nothing wrong, despite the fact that it's been explained to her what guilty and innocent actually mean. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like her, but I love her at the same time. I love her character, but as a character, I also fucking hate her. Also, I want to be very clear. I love all of these characters. I don't think I dislike any of them. But in terms of their character and narrative, I definitely dislike many of them. I dislike Mu. I dislike Haruka. I don't like Amane. And from what I know about Kotoko, don't like her. And Shido, I'm really on the fence about him because a lot of shit was very interesting. In terms of the ones that I actually like, I like Fuda. I like Yuno. I like Makoto. I like Coswe. And is that all of them? I feel like I'm missing somebody. S. Yeah, I like S, despite the fact that at the same time that, like, personality-wise, I just really don't like them either. I think Jackalope's funny. What are your family members' occupation? My papa is a landlord, I think. Fucking down with him. Up to the guillotine. Cut his head off. He also imports foreign furniture from overseas. My mama is a model, although she's not active anymore. Yo, Moo's mom found shit. Do you remember the name of the person you killed? Of course I do. It's Ray, right? Ray. What have you been interested in as of late? What to coordinate with these white clothes to make them cute? Do you think you're similar to any of the other prisoners? Surely none of them are. After all, everyone's got a screw loose. Even you? What about you, huh? Oh, but am I bullying you? Am I bullying you, Moo, huh? How do you feel about the results of trial number 1? They're the reason why I've been saying I've done nothing wrong since the beginning. Fuck me, she's so annoying. Ugh. What are your thoughts on Kotoko's attack? It sounds rough, but it's to punish people who you chose not to forgive, so it can't be helped, right? But that wasn't the plan. At least before the agreement of being like, I'll be your watchdog or whatever the fuck. Is there anyone you want to meet right now? I want to see my friends, but I think I want to see Mama and Papa even more. Hold on, let me put... Is there a prisoner you're not fond of? Yuno has been pretty cold recently, so I can't say I'm too big on her now. Thoughts on the prisoner's verdicts? Dunno. Why don't you just forgive everybody? Let's all get along. Why? So that you can get something from all of them? Huh, Moo? Huh? Huh? What's in your mind right now? I was thinking that if I ask the warden, they might make me a Luminizer? Luminizer? What the fuck? What's your dream for the future? Maybe being a model? Though I've turned down some scouting offers back at high school. Child models are such a weird fucking thing. It feels really predatory. I mean, it is very predatory. Do you have a lot of online friends? Just online ones? I don't think so. Isn't that kind of scary? Fucking no, not really. If you have the, like, comprehension to know that who you're talking to might not be who they really are, or be able to, like, differentiate lies and the like, then no, you can understand that the person you're talking to is just the same age as you, or similar, or whatever. That doesn't mean you should not be safe, but you should always just be aware, right? It's the same way with in real life friends. Just because you meet a person in high school in the hallway doesn't mean you fully know that person until you get to know them. Same thing with if you get to know somebody on Discord, right? Do you have a lover? Nope. After all, that's something you decide at once you're out of high school. You could tell all the kids in my high school that. You could have told me that when I was in high school. Do you regret it? Yeah, I should have chosen my friends better. So that does lead me to believe that she had been betrayed by everyone else because they realized how much of a dick she was. Are you satisfied with your gender? I'm pretty satisfied. I'm glad to have been born me. Still very interesting that's the question that was given to those two. Is it like a fan theory that they might not be the gender, or there's like a gender dysphoria amongst either of them? Were you in the right? Yep. Alright. That was very, very good. I really enjoyed that. Obviously, as always, I gave my thoughts while doing it, so let's just move on to Coswe's second voice drama. Hold on. Wait, you're going too fucking fast. Calm down. Slow down. Alright, what up?
久しいな、シド。
右眼下底骨折、外傷性網膜剥離、打撲、裂傷、胸部の不全骨折。
Partial fracture of the thorax.
梶山君の現状です。
梶山君。
椎名君はさらにひどい。
Oh, he's gonna talk a lot about like fucking like medical shit right now. Head lacerations and bruising all over the body. Contusion.
全身打撲。左前腕の骨幹部骨折。
Fractured the ribs.
頸椎捻挫。肋骨骨折。左頸。
Specifically, I think he said 6 fractured ribs. Is that what he said?
骨の骨折。そして。専門外も
Maybe outside my profession, but her mental health is deteriorating as well.
甚だしいですが、精神の衰弱が著しい。心身ともに限界です。
Both their minds and their bodies are at their limits. Let's stop this already, S-kun.
もうやめましょう、S 君。君がいない間にたくさんのことが起きました。このままでは死人が出ます。
分かっている。コトコの行動は僕にとっても想定外だ。今回の第2審で今一度審判を。
違う。ミルグラム自体をやめるべきです。俺たちのため、そして君のためです。
できない。
なぜです。
止める方法など皆目見当もつかない。僕の意思程度でミルグラムは止まらない。それだけはわかる。お前たちの審判を終えるまで止まることはない。確信がある。
君も俺たちと同じなんですね。大きな流れに巻き込まれているだけだ。
一緒にするな。
This is going too fast. Is it? No, it's a... Okay.
お前は囚人。僕は看守。一度始めたことは最後までやるつもりだ。
S 君。
しかししばらく会わない間に
Because
随分目に
he's
せ
one of the people that I'm most curious about. It's been so long since I've seen his video and his first voice drama, and I really I don't know. I don't know if the Chocolata from JoJo's like analogy is still correct. If like he was killing people, or if he was doing it for some sort of way, and therefore murder is still like maybe his murders were justified. Maybe he was giving mercy killings to people and the like, or who knows? I don't know. I don't know. His was the one I was one of the most confused on.
息が満ちているじゃないか。以前は生きているのか死んでいるのかよくわからない顔をしていたが、
そうですか。
第一審の結果を受けてのことか。
その件について君の考えを聞かせてほしいと思っていました。君はなぜ俺を許したんですか？許さないでほしいと言ったのに。
なぜ看守が囚人の言うことを聞かねばならない。僕は僕自身の基準で決める。
君は俺の心象を見たのでしょう。俺以上に人を殺した人間はそういないはずです。許されなかった囚人たちも俺に比べれば大したことをしていない。
お前は医者だ。僕はお前の人殺しは医療行為による殺人だと推理している。臓器移植だ。いわゆる脳死状態の患者から臓器を摘出する行為。お前が言っている人殺しとはそれだ。違うか？
なるほど。それは俺の心象に映っていた。
Interesting. So that is even looser of a definition of murder. The idea that you killed somebody because you removed their organs while they were brain dead, therefore killing them. Oh, okay. And he must feel bad about that. Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, then innocent 100%. The only thing that he's guilty of is the fact that he feels guilty for doing it.
何ですか？
もちろん直接的ではないがな。あらゆる情報からその可能性が高いと僕たちは考察した。
僕たちとは今僕たちと
僕がそう言ったのか？
ええ。
Are they talking about Jackalope, or are they talking about us? You out there, and me, and everyone else listening to this.
いえ、気にするな。話を戻すぞ。僕の推理の話だ。
すごいですね、ミルグラム。別にここが頂上空間であることを今さら疑ってなど言い
I
ま
wouldn't
せ
say
ん
it's a
が。
top class prison, at least in terms of the luxuries you might be able to get, then yeah, maybe. But the sheer amount of punishment and the totalitarianism of all of it is fucking horrendous.
本物ですね。
正解ということか。
まあ半分
And I've been to prison! No, I'm kidding.
というところですかね。
どちらにせよ僕は医療行為による人殺しを許すと判断した。お前が何を望もうと関係ないね。僕なりに調べたつもりだ。脳死患者を死んでいると捉えていいのか。そのあたりの議論は常に
Well,
繰り
the whole
広げら
point
れ
with
ていた。
brain dead is the fact that, yeah, brain dead is the fact that they are mostly dead. Anything else that is technically still alive, at least in the biological sense, is the fact that there is still just processes going on in the background keeping functionality. I mean, hell, they can't even eat on their own. They can't, sleep on their own most of the time, or wake up. They're not aware of their surroundings or things like that.
ようだな。
よく勉強していますね。
ただ、お前らの世界の議論に興味はない。僕はお前を許すと判断した。それでいい。
それはなぜですか？
そもそも臓器移植に携わることは医者として
Yeah, I mean, one, it's his job. If it is truly just the fact that he's killed people because he replaced their or got rid of their organs for transplant. If anything, he saved more people than he's killed because each one of those organs could have saved an individual life. more times than not, one organ goes to one person, right? It's very, if I'm correct, it's very rare for there to be multiple organs from one donor to go into one other patient, due to multiple things, such as like rejection from the body, shock, blood types lining up and the like. Because one thing that a lot of people might not know is that one thing about being a donor is that you have to actually get donations from somebody of the same blood type as you, because the organ could take time to adapt to your blood type, if I'm correct, but most of the times it can often be rejected because the body simply isn't used to those the organ and the body is not used to those new aspects that are currently being done.
しての仕事だ。お前が自由意志で行ったことではないだろう。
Yeah, I mean, one, it's not out of his own free will. I mean, even if you can, even as a doctor, he said, I refuse to do it. I mean, he still did it. But if it's just, you know, taking organs out of a brain dead person, that, again, he probably helped more people. And any guilt he has is probably from the trauma that he saw, you know, medical trauma. People have, like, doctors all the time, surgeons can get trauma from seeing the inside of people, right? Like, cutting somebody open and knowing that you took a life. Like, some people are able to, like, justify seeing all the gore of surgery and surgical and medical gore because of the fact they're helping somebody. But if it results in death, it probably will fuck you up.
俺は自分の仕事に誇りを持っていました。良き行いであるとね。自分の意志ではないとは言えません。
Oh, that makes sense now of why the symbolism of the flower thing was there. He was not trying to make a Frankenstein, which was one of my crackpot theories, or anything like that. But he was probably the flower person was probably representative of the fact that he is taking flowers from other things and putting into a new thing, therefore organ donation and organ transfer.
人を救うための行いだろ。事実。それによって救われる人間もいるはずだ。
俺もそう思っていましたよ。そういった大義名分を掲げて何の疑いもなくね。
死を待つしかない人間の命。
So, is he just disillusioned with the fact of what he has done? Or is it going to come out there like, oh, I sold the organs for my own monetary gain?
生き残れる可能性のある人間を救えるんだろう。ならば考えるまでもないだろう。
俺もそう思っていました。傲慢にもね。
今はそう思わないということか。
ええ、そうですね。俺はね、臓器移植に反対する脳死患者の家族を説得し続けてきたんですよ。今 S 君が言ってくれたような理由を盾にね。あなたの知らない他の誰かの命のために。
So it's the trauma from telling somebody that he has to kill somebody that they love who is comatose to save another person.
あなたの家
It's
族を
one of those complicated things where, like, do you keep a person alive on medical support and life support because you're still attached to them, despite the fact in all ways they're gone? And you're kind of just putting off the inevitable of having a funeral service because their organs and their heart are still beating, but them, the soul of them, whether you want to say that in a spiritual sense or a medical sense of cognition and brain activity within the, like, conscious thinking parts of the brain being gone, then what's the point of keeping them around? I don't want to say that it sounds selfish, but it could be interpreted that way, that you are keeping this body alive out of what it once held when it could be helping other people.
を殺させてくれと言っていたんですよ。 それがどれくらい残酷なことか少し考えればわかるはずなのに、俺は最後の最後までわからなかった。
So is the idea more specifically that he didn't have to do organ transplants, but he chose to do them and chose to go for brain dead people to gain organs from? Then in that case, I can see why, because it would feel kind of heartless and especially very pragmatic. We're like, oh, well, just use the dead person's body to do it. You know, take the person off life support, use their organs, instead of being like, oh, well, an organ transplant, 2 hospitals away, why not we just use the comatose ones? That sort of thing. I mean, yes, it's one of those things like with intention and thoughts and emotions behind it, but pragmatic or, you know, nihilistic or even apathetic, you're still helping people. You're not being selfish. You're not trying to do wrong or anything. In a really dark way, I guess you could put it, you're being resourceful.
あまりにも疑惑的じゃないか。家族であろうと関係がないように思えるが。
それが自分の家族でも同じように感じ。
I mean, personally, if I was brain dead and my body was being kept alive, and my family had the option of taking me off life support and allowing my organs to be donated to somebody else to help them, or just keeping me around to maybe one day rot and then have my organs be useless or unusable, or, you know, filling up space for another person to properly come in, despite the fact that by the time I'm brain dead, I'm already gone, and it's just my body that is not even still, like, alive, it's just being prolonged from withering and rotting away. I would want them to take me off. I would want them to, like, give my organs to somebody else who needed them. Hell, my fucking driver's license says I'm an organ donor, because that's what I think is I should do after I'm dead. Because I'm not there anymore, right? If I can do anything posthumously to help somebody, I would certainly want to be in that way. If given the idea that these videos weren't actively helping people after I died anyway. Or all of, like, the shit that I create, like, with these videos, or the posts that I do on YouTube, where we talk about politics and all this other stuff, because I mean, I have done a little bit of writing here and there with politics and other things, but I haven't published it anywhere because it's mostly just my own, you know, thinkings. If someone wants to see that, I mean, sure, I might make a Substack and let people read it.
S-kun, 君の家族はご健在ですか？
わからない。覚えていない。
そうですか。それは申し訳ないことを聞きました。
構わない。覚えていないものに干渉も何もないだろう。それに、自分の家族が対象であろうと、僕の判断が変わるとは思えないな。
そんなことはありませんよ。
たとえミルグラムの囚人に僕の家族がいようと、僕は仕事を全うしてみせるぞ。
家族は特別です。
ああ？
少し雑談をしましょうか。刑法は勉強済みですか？
まあ、有名どころはな。監視の仕事を始めてから勉強している。
素晴らしい。例えば罪を犯した者をかくまったり、加害者を助けるために証拠を隠滅。
I mean, obviously legally it depends. I mean, in the United States, you can become complicit and an actor within the crime if you are knowingly sheltering them and having them avoid justice, so and so. One thing I remember specifically sheltering is, you know, like the whole idea of, like, you're not allowed to harbor or quarter you know, foreign soldiers in your thing. Like, that was a thing that used to be, like, a law, like, back during the Revolutionary War. Funny that it was called a Revolutionary War, but it was really benefited nobody but the white men in charge. which is just a whole nother thing, though, that revolution as an idea is not left-leaning or right-leaning. It is how it's applicable in the, like, of how it's used. I mean, look at color revolutions, right? Look at the Contras in fucking Nicaragua and so on. They were backed by the CIA, and all this other shit, right? That's very far and away different than the revolution that was actively happening in, say, China, Russia, or Vietnam and Laos, or Yugoslavia, or Czechoslovakia, or former Soviet states, or, I mean, if you even want to say something like the French Revolution, right? That's another thing. But it was a little bit more of a liberal thing than a purely, like, socialist one. But anyway, I digress. Like, anyway, it entirely depends on where you are. But me personally, if we were to judge this, like, from not a law way, but more of a, not ethics, but like in a way of, like, are they complicit and should they be judged for those actions? It entirely depends. Are they being forced to harbor them? Are they actively partaking in it? Are they being lied to and manipulated? Or what? Or are they just simply not understanding the situation the way that it actually happened, right?
罪になりますよね。
103条と104条だな。
よく覚えていますね。105条も覚えていますか？
いや、詳しいのか？
専門家ではないですが、とても印象的で覚えているんです。105条はですね、全2条の罪については、犯人または逃走した者の親族がこれらの者の利益のために犯したときは、その刑を免除することができるとあります。
つまり犯罪者をかくまい助けたとしても親族であれば無罪である。
I mean, that makes sense, especially within the conditions of Japan, right? Very familial connections is a big part of their culture. So having that play into their law makes sense. But it also makes sense in the way of, like, you know, familial connections always sways people. Like, regardless, if there's a relationship there, it will always inform your decisions if it is relating to them. Right? That's just psychology. That's just the way we as people are.
そうです。俺には刑法ですら、どんな状況でも家族は助け合うものだと言っているように思えました。
興味深い話だな。
That's an interesting way of putting it. But it's not conditional. I mean, like, the only things that are conditional is the idea of supporting your child because you brought them in. That is your responsibility. But, you know, conditional love back to your mother or father or your parent is not conditional on you as the child. You are under no means required to love your parent back because you were not obligated. You had no choice into coming into existence. It was their choice to bring you into existence. You had no say in that. Therefore, there is no condition of which that you must be grateful back to them. It is only something of which can be developed over time based on how they treat you and how they raise you and how they support you, of which them helping of you being gracious and having gratitude back to them for being good parents, and not just specifically of becoming alive and coming into existence.
なんでしょうね。S 君に聞いて欲しかっただけですかね。
相変わらずいまいちつかめない男だ。
俺はもう S 君のように自分の行いに大義名分を掲げられなくなったという話です。その資格がなく。
Let me guess. Is it because he tried to save somebody in his family as another family member, therefore using another person's family member for organ donations? Is that what we're going to go for?
なった。
お前の考えを変える何かが起きた。
そうですね。それも心象を見ればわかるのでしょうね。
ああ、見せてもらうとしよ
う。S 君、俺は大量に人を殺している。以前の尋問でも言った通り、利己的な理由でも殺しています。ですから。
また許さないでほしいと懇願するつもりか？無駄だと言っているのに。
ええ。 俺を許さないでほしい。そのはず。
So it's moralization on his account that he thinks that based on what he knows and his own morals that he shouldn't be forgiven. So it's not one of those. It's more of a fairness thing than a sort of thing of like, oh, something like, I'm suicidal, kill me via execution, so on and so forth. Like, oh, I want to commit suicide via being taken out by cops or some shit.
です。俺を許さないでほしい。その気持ちは変わらない。罰されなければいけない。俺が罪。
Okay, never mind. So it is the fact that he feels that he has done sins and the like. So maybe a little bit of both. Who knows?
を償わなくてはいけない。
We'll
ミルグラムが正しいとは思わない。しかし、俺の罪を罰するためにここほど適した場所はない。ですが、ミルグラムがこのまま続く以上、俺が許されないと傷ついていく
But
み
you
んなを
didn't
救えない。
injure anybody. You didn't hurt anybody. You had, like, even if it was for selfish reasons, maybe you were, like, possibly hurting somebody emotionally via taking somebody off of life support, therefore, like, hurting the family. But you weren't killing an individual. You were taking a comatose, brain-dead person that had been long dead, depending on how long they had been on life support, and just allowing their body to go through the natural processes of rot and decay instead of being forced to continue to have a heartbeat and other things like that.
今も椎名君は予断を許さない状態です。俺の治療がないと生きられない。俺が許されなければ死んでしまう。
それは
Yeah.
事実だろうな。
But that's even more selfish way. He is being selfish now by wanting to die or to be not forgiven and therefore being punished, and maybe even having Kotoko attack him, and maybe even possibly having Milgram kill him. Whenever there is actively at least 2 people right now, 3 people right now who were voted guilty and attacked and need to be treated by him for them to like consistently be kept alive.
きっと囚人同士の争いは増えていく。俺がいなければ彼らはより危険な目に遭ってしまう。
シド。
俺は罰されなければならない。だが生きなければならない。若い命が失われてしまう。俺は何を願えばいいのかが。
Then I guess to fucking reaffirm him, slap him on the wrist, and then be like, okay, you're not guilty though. You got punished though. Now go keep saving lives, goofy little doctor.
生きたいと許されたいと思ってしま
This
って
is
いる。
another one of those things where it's like, you can't just judge the crime, you also have to judge the person too. Much like with what Yuno said, and how I've always believed, you cannot just judge the crime and have it become a political thing, and thus retroactively punish the person as a political act. You also have to understand who they are and why they did it, and the crime as well.
罪深いこの俺が。
シド、僕が言ったことを覚えているか？いつ死んでもいいという態度のお前に、僕は必死に生きたいと願えと言った。生への執着があるからこそ、罪に対しての罰は存在する。お前の存在はミルグラムと僕への冒涜だとな。
ええ、覚えています。
ようやくだ。生への執着を得て、お前はようやく真にミルグラムの囚人になった。そう思う。許されたいという気持ちの芽生えも。
That makes me curious about how long they're supposed to be staying in here. Is it expected that they're going to be in here for years? Or is it just be like, yeah, you're going to be in here for like a few months, we're going to judge you, and then you're going to die, and then you're all going to, I don't know, what else the fuck is going to happen after the 3rd trial?
正真正銘 お前を表すものだ。
Now back into society, you ye who are fucked up.
ダメなんですよ。俺は許されてはならない。でなければ俺に殺された無数の命が報われない。
お前が本当に殺した人間への贖罪として命を差し出そうとしているのならば、どうしても生きたい理由でもなければ釣り合わない。
Yeah, I mean, if anything, what's the reason for killing you or having you be punished now when, if anything, you can make up for the lives that you've supposedly taken by helping more people instead, as a doctor?
だろう。放り投げてもいいような命で向き合うなよ。
S 君、君は厳しい人ですね。
前も言っただろう。お前はトップクラスに気に入らないからな。
残念ですね。
Self-pity or something like
ミルグ
that?
ラムに来てから子供に嫌われがちだ。好きなんですけどね。
知った
Not disliked by children for totally different fucking reasons.
ことか。だがな。フータとマヒルを救ってくれてありがとう。
But didn't he help?
このミルグラムにお前がいてくれてよ
No,
かったと
he didn't.
心から思っている。
Well, Makoto did get fucked up in their own way. Right, because they got in a fight with,
以上だ。
with...
囚人番号5番シド。お前の罪を歌え。
Alright, now let's move on to the fucking video. I've been told that the animation in this one is bad or something like that. We'll see. That's a pretty short song. Almost 3 minutes. I get it now. I understand. I understand it now. Prolong my life because I am indispensable. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. We're going to do exactly what we did before and go from the very end and go backwards. Very clearly right here where he has this like really somber look on his face. This is because of the fact that he's depressed. Still doctor, but depressed and all this other stuff. Putting these gloves on. And right out the gate, I want to mention all these tags actually look to be organ donation tags or like medical tags that you would see on like blood bags or organ boxes or anything along those lines that have to do with biological shit where it's like the sticker and tag that's on it. My theory right now is all this shit about, oh, but I've killed so many people is complete manufacture in his head. Did he technically kill people? Yes. All right. Milgram still caught him, and clearly he must have killed somebody. So he killed people because he wouldn't be Milgram otherwise, because a crime had been committed that he is therefore somehow maybe guilty of. But he is the reason for that. But I think the reason why he wants to be voted guilty is not the actions he's taken, but because he is manufacturing that as sins because he was not able to save his own family. And therefore, by being punished, he feels like he can be atoned for being unable to save them. Maybe one of the things is that he tried to get organ donations for them. And even then, they still died. Meaning that the lives of both of them were on his hands and his own mind. And therefore, those are the sins. And one of the reasons of why he wants to be punished is to feel that he can make up for his family that he lost, but also in the way that if he's hoping that he can have suicide via prison, like execution, that he can actually reunite with them possibly. Yes, a lot of these tags are very interesting. Also, very interesting that a lot of these are fruits. An interesting bit of symbolism there, because fruits can often be tied to things like organs and the like, but I don't know if that's fruit in the background. It almost looks like meat or like something else, like lobster, which is still meat, but you know what I mean. Pomegranates are also incredibly symbolic. They're symbolic of things like sex, reproduction, fertility, but also the idea of family and other things like that. And the fact that those are the things that are we immediately see is very interesting. Also, he's right here, white clothes, almost like he's in he's either in his doctor outfit or at a funeral service, kind of like in Japan, how the funeral service is obviously very different than here in America. That he's at the bed of the person that he was unable to save. Incessant taking. Yeah, the incessant taking of fruit and all this other stuff, I really do believe is something that he's making up in his head. Everything else was just about him doing what he normally did. But maybe it's even the idea that after they died and he was able to save them, that maybe he wasn't killing people for like to get his frustrations out, but he kept doing what he was just normally doing of, you know, taking organs and other things like that, because that's just his job as a surgeon. But he felt that it was almost punishment, taking more lives, despite the fact he really wasn't taking lives. Very interesting to see like these ghostly apparitions of everything. These kids look really fucking cute. Oh my god. His wife is a baddie. Oh my lord. I too would wish to die to reunite if that's what I was with. But anyway, there's also really interesting to see that in the background, the names here are in runes, the same runes that we see on S's, ribbon across their chest. And it seems to be that he was visiting people and giving them fruits, which is obviously a thing of, you know, like a gift that you commonly give to people when they're in the hospital in Japan, but is also something you can leave at shrines and other things like that to pay your respects. So it seems that he is visiting the patients that he killed, or, you know, took the organs from, and then continued to do so until his family died. Very, very interesting. Because maybe he was just paying respects and then he went home, because it seems, mind you, by the time he comes home, he still has the same fruit. So maybe it's just one of those things that he goes, pays the respects, and then heads home. So clearly he never had an issue with what he was doing in the first place until his family was gone, and then the depression ensued. Very interesting. All right. Well, anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like down below. And while you're down there, if you want to support me, I have a Patreon. It will benefit both me financially out of, making content, but it will also help me get new things to help benefit the channel as well. Maybe a new keyboard, new mouse. This mouse is getting a little old. New camera, other things like that. If you want to do that, there's Patreon down below. There's also YouTube memberships. I have a Cash App and other things. And if you do donate to the Cash App, let me know. Leave a comment, because I don't check Cash App very often because I've never gotten anything from there. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you to the members and patrons, aka the Ultimate Pirate Fleet. Saline, Peachy Bun, Sleepy Sheepy, Lolo Bartazal, Finch R, Eminelli, Belle, Lily McMillan, Henri, Shira, Angel313, Andrew Ortega, Ariana Henry, Yoan, Test, Helen, Miles Morales, Boogalarka Boggy, Moonze W, On You, Lind the Vocaloid Nerd ARG, Distar, AAT, Yui Izumi, Leia, Chocobo/Chris, Annie, Shen Guang, #1 Ash Bradley fan, Michaela Malone, Gondala, Elin Levens, Mealy, Sin, Amon Klein, CEO, Ori, Questionable Decisions, Chizuru, Rumi1, Shali CC, Purest Failure, Silan, Vin Mikaniri, Wef Nai, Kaku, Gukan, and Mana. And a very special thank you to the paid tiers, starting with Fresh Pirates, Yui Izumi, Shelly, and Angel313. And now for the crewmates. Saline. If you wish to support me, you can do so by becoming a member through the links in the description down below. You are all a part of the Ultimate Crew. And if you wish to have your name listed, you can do so by reading the stuff that's in front of you right now. Thank you.